The field I am interested in is working auditing. The person I interviewed is an assistant audit manager. A typical day for them is getting into the office and checking their calendar to see if they have any meetings. After that, they check their emails and phone messages. If they have any employees that are out, then they have to coordinate to make sure their work is covered. They ask another assistant manager to have their employees cover them or talk to their own employees about sharing the workload. After this, they check to see if there's any refunds that need to be approved. Any refunds that are over $20,000 that are given to their employees must first come to them. They review the audit and make sure it is accurate and everything complies with the rules of regulations according to the Workers' Compensation Insurance Rating Bureau and the state fund guidelines. If there are any discrepancies that their analysts didn't catch, they will reject it and bring it back to the analysts. If everything is fine, then they will approve it. There could also be different kinds of meetings they must attend. They could have meetings with employees which occur once a week, unit meetings which happen once a month, and management meetings with their manager and another assistant manager that occur once a week. My interviewee report to the audit manager of State Fund. They are evaluated biannually and annually. They are evaluated on how their unit is doing as a whole. They have production goals. Their goal is to review and approve a certain amount of audits a day, week, month, half a year, and year. Also, my interviewee is tasked with making sure their employee are following the rules of the company, disciplining their employees when need, and ensuring that their employees are reporting to work on time and doing their job correctly. Also, if they get special assignments, they get evaluated on how they perform. Disciplining employees gives my interviewee the most trouble because it isn't a pleasant task. It is basically telling the person they are not doing their job correctly, and if they continue, there will be consequences. My interviewee likes coaching employees and looking at the technical side of their job the best. They like doing research on classifications. All businesses are required to have workers' compensation for employees. Depending on the business, they have different classifications. Each classification has a rate. Sometimes there are some gray areas that the company needs to figure out and that they enjoy the research and challenge. My interviewee got into this line of work indirectly. They applied for the job in the claims of department for a different company and they actually didn't like it because of the stress, environment, and people were not very friendly. After doing research and talking to the other people in their company, they recommended them audits because it is less stressful and the culture seems to be very friendly. The company they were working for at the time had no openings in audits, so they switched to State Fund and began their career there. If given the chance to do it over again, they would do the same thing, but they would have gone into audit sooner. If I were to get into the same career that they are in, they recommended that I get my bachelor's degree. This way I have a good foundation and am able to adapt well to different situations. I should also visit some companies to see if I like the environment and culture there because it's very important to like who you work with. They also said the best training site is statefund.com because they supply tests that you can take, and if you pass, then you are eligible for the job. You can also just learn more about the company. When asked what to do in the field and reward, they responded that people in the field feel accomplished when they successfully help customers because people in the audit department are the only ones that directly go to the policyholders and see how they're doing and get feedback. They stated that the most work alone and that they sometimes work with teams. They review and approve audits on their own. They also review and evaluate employees on their own. They work in a team when it has less to do with the actual job and improving the environment, like throwing a party or improving team morale. They do not supervise seasoned employees closely because they trust they know what they're doing. They only closely supervise new employees that need help getting used to the job. They are not closely supervised by their superiors because they have been working at the company for more than 20 years and know what they are doing. On a scale of 1 to 10, they rated their work as a stress of 6. It is most stressful when they need to discipline an employee because the employee can be difficult and the process is long trying to discipline them. They've had to discipline 4 employees in their time of work as an audit assistant manager. In their field of work, you don't necessarily need to memorize anything, but having a good feel for the job and knowing what you're doing helps a lot. You need to be familiar with what you're doing. There is not lifting required in this field of work. In their field of work, they use a laptop, iPhone, desk phone, scanning machine, and printer. Overall, the employment rate has been shrinking, but in the past year it has been growing. In the next year, more auditors will be hired. The turnover rate in their field is roughly low. The best way to get hired is to get a bachelor's degree, pass exam, then apply for the job. They're currently opening in the state fund auditors field. The salary range of the position is between $50,000 to $80,000. The entry level is $32,000. The benefits are sick and vacation pay, pension plan, employee assistance program, wellness program, supply training, pay for college classes, and scholarship program for the children.